A key ally of Mujtaba is warning of a massive nuclear expansion, as tensions rise over Pyongyang's growing military ambitions against the United States. Kim Jong Un has issued a major warning, declaring that North Korea will continue expanding its nuclear force and strengthening its weapons capabilities. Pyongyang is reportedly preparing to build more nuclear weapons, develop advanced military bases, and expand its fleet of warships as it boosts its combat readiness. Is Kim Jong Un preparing to support China in a potential Taiwan conflict, as fears grow over wider confrontation in the region? Could North Korea's growing nuclear might become a powerful deterrent, preventing the United States from stepping in to defend its allies? North Korea has announced plans to strengthen its nuclear forces both qualitatively and quantitatively, signaling its intention to expand and improve its strategic weapons capabilities. The decision was made as part of Pyongyang's broader plan to modernize its military, with a focus on enhancing weapon systems, operational readiness, and national defense capabilities. The announcement was made during an expanded meeting of the Central Military Commission, where senior military officials discussed future plans for strengthening the country's armed forces. According to state media outlet, the meeting was held under the guidance of North Korean leader Kim Jong Un, who oversaw discussions on military development and strategic priorities. North Korea also announced plans to standardize and modernize military bases while upgrading combat systems to improve the effectiveness and readiness of its armed forces. North Korea's state media reported that Pyongyang intends to accelerate the construction of modern naval bases as part of efforts to expand and strengthen its maritime military capabilities. Kim Jong Un said national security depends on maintaining a powerful military capable of responding to external threats and protecting the country's sovereignty against potential adversaries. The announcement came shortly after Kim supervised weapons tests conducted aboard a 5,000-ton naval destroyer Kangkon, highlighting North Korea's continued focus on advancing its naval capabilities. North Korea has previously stated that it aims to equip its navy with nuclear weapons, expanding the role of nuclear capabilities beyond traditional land-based systems. Pyongyang maintains that its nuclear program is an essential deterrent against perceived threats from the United States and South Korea, which it says are necessary for national security. North Korea has repeatedly declared itself an irreversible nuclear power, insisting that its nuclear status cannot be changed through international pressure or diplomatic efforts. The country continues to face international sanctions over its nuclear and missile programs, with global powers calling for limits on its weapons development activities. Pyongyang argues that its military expansion is necessary for national defense and the protection of its sovereignty, rejecting criticism from foreign governments. The latest announcement comes as security tensions continue to rise on the Korean Peninsula, with concerns growing over North Korea's expanding military capabilities and weapons programs. A new North Korean destroyer entered its final test phase with a cruise missile launch, as Pyongyang moved to validate the vessel's integrated systems under operational conditions and demonstrate that the platform is nearing full combat readiness. North Korea test-fired a strategic cruise missile from its new 5,000-ton destroyer, using the launch to show the ship can carry and employ long-range strike weapons that extend its navy's reach and complicate regional threat calculations. The tests were aimed to check how multiple weapon systems work together on the destroyer, evaluating sensors, fire control links, and engagement sequences to ensure the ship can coordinate missiles, guns, and electronic measures in combat. The missile test was one of several trials designed to confirm the warship's combat capabilities, part of a broader verification program that assessed endurance, targeting accuracy, and the reliability of integrated weapons suites. Kim also watched tests of naval artillery, automatic guns, and electronic warfare systems, personally overseeing demonstrations intended to prove the destroyer's layered defensive and offensive tools can be employed effectively in maritime engagements. This came as the South Korean military detected a cruise missile firing toward the East Sea on July 3, prompting regional alertness and immediate sensor and command post activity to track the trajectory and assess its implications. Seoul and Washington are analyzing data from the test, according to Yonhap, with Allied intelligence and military analysts cross-checking telemetry, radar tracks, and impact assessments to refine threat estimates and contingency planning. Pyongyang said the drills aimed at strengthening the destroyer's operational readiness for combat, framing the exercises as necessary steps to integrate new capabilities and ensure the vessel can perform reliably under wartime conditions. This followed Kim Jong Un ordering the 5,000-ton destroyer to join the Navy within 2 months, a directive that accelerates the ship's transition from testing to active deployment and signals a push to quickly expand maritime deterrent forces. The Kangkon destroyer was first launched in June last year after a failed initial attempt, and its subsequent trials reflect an iterative development process as engineers and commanders work to resolve earlier issues and refine the ship systems. The North Korean leader has also called for a stronger war deterrent and higher combat capability, repeatedly emphasizing rapid military improvement as central to regime security and strategic posture in a tense regional environment. Taiwan has successfully test-fired its first air-launched supersonic anti-ship missile, as tensions with China continue to rise. The Sung-Chia missile was reportedly tested off Taiwan's southeastern coast during the latest military exercise. Officials say the new capability significantly expands Taiwan's ability to target hostile warships at much greater distances. The missile is a key component of Taiwan's Falcon program aimed at modernizing its domestically built fighter aircraft. Taiwan's indigenous defense fighters are also being upgraded with AESA radar systems and advanced Sky Sword II missiles. Military analysts say the air-launched missile gives Taiwan greater flexibility by allowing attacks from unexpected angles. The new missile is specifically designed to target amphibious assault groups and major surface warships during a conflict. Analysts believe the new capability could complicate any future Chinese invasion plans across the Taiwan Strait. The air-launched missile offers Taiwan a more flexible sea denial option compared to fixed land or ship-based weapons. Despite the upgrades, experts say Taiwan's indigenous defense fighter still faces serious challenges against China's advanced air defenses. Its limited combat range, lack of stealth features, and vulnerability to Chinese missile systems remain major concerns. Military analysts say the overall balance of power in the Taiwan Strait still heavily favors Beijing. The successful missile test underscores Taiwan's determination to prepare for the possibility of a high-intensity conflict. Amid growing fears of a possible conflict with China, Taiwan has launched its biggest reserve force reform in decades, aimed at strengthening the island's military preparedness. Taiwan has doubled the duration of its reserve training program. The training has been increased from up to 7 days to a mandatory 14-day program. The reforms come as Taiwan faces increasing military pressure from China, with Beijing stepping up military activities around the island in recent years. Taiwan's reservists are now training with drones and US-made HIMARS rocket systems. The focus is on modern battlefield tactics and precision strikes. The new program also includes live-fire exercises. Troops are trained to operate under realistic combat conditions. Reservists are receiving battlefield first aid training. They are taught how to treat injuries and save lives during combat. Training also includes camouflage drills and long-distance marches. These exercises are designed to improve endurance and field survival. The program features overnight deployments in simulated combat zones. Troops must learn to operate effectively both day and night. Training days now last up to 10 hours. The extended schedule is intended to improve combat readiness. Reservists with specialist military backgrounds are being recalled, allowing them to make better use of their previous experience. Taiwan's defense ministry believes the reforms will improve combat readiness, as reported by the South China Morning Post. Taiwan also plans to include retired female volunteers in its reserve mobilization system. The move will expand the pool of trained personnel. Taiwanese officials say the plan will help increase the country's available manpower. They believe it will strengthen the reserve force. The reforms come as Taiwan faces a growing shortage of military-age recruits. Fewer young people are becoming eligible for service. The number of men eligible for military service fell below 100,000 in 2023. The decline has raised concerns about future recruitment. That figure is expected to fall below 80,000 next year to 79,742, according to Taiwan's Legislature Budget Center. The armed forces are currently operating at about 79% staffing. The estimate was provided by Taiwanese officials. Military planners warn there may not be enough troops to operate new weapon systems. They say manpower shortages could affect combat readiness. Analysts say the reforms also draw lessons from the war in Ukraine. The conflict has changed how many countries prepare for war. Drones, precision strikes, and territorial defense have shaped the new training model. These tactics are now a key part of the program. The Defense Ministry says longer training will better prepare reservists for modern warfare. Officials believe it will improve battlefield effectiveness. But analysts say longer training alone will not solve Taiwan's manpower challenges. They argue that broader recruitment reforms may still be needed.